Welcome to Software Leaders Uncensored with Steve Taplin.
Welcome to Software Leaders Uncensored, where tech leaders drop the filters and just tell it like it is. I'm your host, Steve Taplin, a serial technology entrepreneur who's launched 30 companies, failed at 20 of those, but scaled 10 of those to success. And I turned that roller coaster of a ride into my book. It's called Fail Hard, Win Big. And this is where I teach you how to turn failure into your biggest competitive advantage and how custom software played a defining role in every win. Now I'm the CEO of Sonatify Technology. We're a nearshore software engineering firm with over 100 full-time engineers. We help existing engineering teams scale. And today I am joined by David Funck out of Chicago, Illinois, who is CTO at Avaya. David has been an engineer turned consultant to multi-time CTO. He's got some great M&A experience. We're going to have some fun here. David, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Steve. Thank you so much.
You bet. I always welcome anyone from Chicago, where I'm originally from.
Yeah, it's a great town for sure. Great
David,
place
if
to
you
be.
would, spend a few minutes and walk our listeners through the journey of your career.
Well, something I didn't used to tell people was I started my career as a professional actor. I was an underemployed professional actor for 3 or 4 years in New York City. You know, unemployment was pretty stiff in that industry, and decided I wanted to have a family and started looking around. I always loved working in tech. So I went back to school. I was right in the dot-com boom. So I was able to get a job. I wouldn't hire myself now for sure, but I got a job pretty quickly and with some, software development training and worked for a long time as a consultant, but then worked for a long time for various companies that ended up being Aspect Software, and then that company rebranded to Avaya. So it's a company that works in contact centers. So most of my career has been developing contact center software targeted for enterprise customers. So the really big customers, and was eventually promoted to CTO there. And we sold that company to a new private equity firm at the same time that we acquired Noble Systems. So it was a kind of a double deal. It was a little bit of the triple sow cow of software M&A, all in the same deal.
You kept your head from spinning off during that?
It was crazy. You know, I was representing the sell side and the buy side at the same time. So it was a pretty intense time, but we're proud of that deal. And then I stayed on there a little while longer, left, and joined a startup. That startup was, I didn't found it, but I came on as CTO to help grow the company. That was Edify. And then we ended up selling Edify to Avaya. I've been with Avaya now for about a year and a half, and got promoted into the CTO role at Avaya. So I'm happy to be here leading a company with a great history, Avaya, with really fantastic things in store for us here. So that's a little bit about my career.
Would you go back to the professional acting, or you think you made the right choice?
I think I made the right choice. It's a tough life, man. I have a bunch of friends who I made through that. I'm happy I did the things I did. I think I'm a better CTO for that. I think I'm a better leader, a better executive. It's a tough life unless you're one of those few people who really hits it big. I love what.
Awesome. So tell us, Avaya is certainly a large, well-known company, but for those who aren't familiar with it, please tell us more about what Avaya does and what their focus is.
So Avaya we are targeted. We build contact center software and communication software for the largest enterprises. And, Avaya we grew out of the Bell companies. So we were a spinoff of Lucent quite a while ago. We were big in the PBX industry. And now we've made that transition to selling those kinds of capabilities in the cloud. We still have a solid hardware business, and we sell to governments and large enterprises. Secure, reliable audio is really one of our specialties. But with our contact center solutions, we provide contact center solutions to the largest and most complex enterprise customers across the globe. Very much a global
All right.
company.
So, as CTO, talk about some of the current projects you're working on and some exciting things you have going on to the extent you can.
Well, I'd be happy to. We are very excited about our new product, Infinity. It's a contact center solution and a unified communication solution that is really tailored to that large enterprise. It is our Aura and Elite software is running right now in on premise with customers all across the globe, and Infinity is designed to be a uh, a cloud solution that brings modernity to that Aura and Elite base. And it also will compete with all the top contact centers out there. It's differentiated because we are able to deploy it purpose built in the cloud, built for a distributed computing environment. It's an omni-channel contact center solution. So it does voice, email, chat, SMS, social channels, and it's purpose built for distributed computing. So it runs in any public cloud, and we also can deploy it into our customer's premise. So it'll run in a hybrid environment connected to our Aura and Elite customer base. We can also deploy it using the hyperscaler edge technologies like Azure Local or Google Distributed Cloud, and use that to provide an additional level of data privacy for our customer base, because our customers really care about that security and data privacy. So we're trying to make the solution as flexible as possible for those enterprise customers that some of them are still hesitant about running in the public cloud. We're trying to make this as frictionless as possible to bring modernity to that enterprise customer base. And it also really was designed to integrate with AI too, which is something that I think that these customers really need to be ready to adopt. Well, so we really believe that AI is it's a game changer for the contact center industry. There's so many fantastic use cases, and Infinity is designed to have a no code, low code orchestration engine that deals with self-service capabilities for customers hitting the contact center. It also uses the same engine to orchestrate the experience of the agent. And that interplay makes it a very powerful tool. And we're using that orchestration capability to integrate with AI. We just announced support for the model context protocol from that Anthropic has that's really been gaining tremendous traction. So that gives large language models real world context, and it gives them the ability to do things, to act. And that linked in with this orchestration engine turns that contact center into a very flexible and kind of future-proofed AI capability for these large enterprises. So that's really key.
I think that's certainly an area that touches everyone's hearts, whether you're calling your credit card company, your insurance, or anything else. I think there's a strong desire for every person, at least in the US, to see tons of great advancements there. What are your years as a CTO in this space, and what's your crystal ball say?
So I really believe that humans are always going to be part of that interaction. I don't think the AI is going to replace people, but we're believe in this idea of tandem care, so that AI helps the human agent, be more effective, and really frees that human agent up to do things that only humans can do. Really connect with people and provide things like empathy. AI can fake empathy, but it can't give real empathy. And so we really believe that by empowering the humans, the entire contact center experience can be elevated. People want to get in, they want their problem solved, and they know right now if AI is going to be able to solve their problem or not. And they need what they know when they want to get to an agent. We need to give them the ability to either get in and have it solved by the AI, or capture that information and hand that off to a human so that the human can really get it done. I think that is gonna that we believe that it's going to be kind of a flywheel effect that just kind of improves the experience for people, makes it a much better, more effective, and really a superior experience for people. I see that happening definitely in the next 5 years. Who could have predicted where we'd be now with the way that LLMs have really changed the way so much of what we do is done, especially software
Yes.
development. I mean, it's really amazing what these large language models can do. It's hard to predict. I don't pretend to predict where AI is going to take us, but that's why we're using this orchestration capability to kind of future-proof that and give that control and power to our customers so that they can have flexibility to adapt as new and better things come along.
Well, and I like how you frame that up, David, as, we're in lots of areas we're seeing where AI can help, and also lots of areas where companies are wasting money on AI and not having any ROI at all. And at the crux of it, kind of reiterating how you explained it, but giving humans the ability to be more productive with these AI agents that can help them get better information faster, quicker, do more. No matter what position you're talking about, I think that's a great way to put it,
Yeah,
because there's AI can be a great productivity enhancer, but in a lot of cases, it's going to be pretty hard to replace the human element.
I agree. I totally agree. And if we can give, the great thing about MCP is it really allows for very specific context, and it gives the LLM that context. And if we can give an agentic AI self-service capability very specific context about who it is that's hitting the contact center, who the customer is that needs help, it really gives that customer feels like they're really known and understood by the system. It's I think very helpful.
Now, are your teams hybrid in an office or fully remote?
We're mostly fully remote right now. COVID really changed the world on that score.
No doubt.
Yeah, and we learned that we could do just as well and maybe even be better being remote. So we're pretty committed to that remote capability. The exception to that is our India team. They have more of an office culture. They come into the office more often. I was just there a few weeks ago, and there's a really good, vibrant office culture there. So it kind of depends on where we are and the region, but we're pretty much fully remote in the Americas.
Gotcha. So, David, as a tech leader in Q4 2025, what are some of the biggest challenges you're facing right now?
I would say that dealing with and prepping yourself for how AI is going to change our world and industry is something that I think about when I wake up, think about when I go to sleep, and it's something that we're really paying a lot of attention to. We recently invested in some two top-notch AI development tool sets, and we're seeing really fantastic results of 30 to 50% productivity improvements. I'm hearing from some of my teams. It's really remarkable. The amount of capability that they can deliver very, very quickly is really exciting. So making sure that we're in a position to channel that, to make sure that it's secure and reliable. It's really is fundamentally changing the development approach and making sure that we are continuing to deliver the top quality and stable solutions that people count on Avaya for is what we're really focused on right now. But it's fantastic to have that acceleration. Fantastic.
It's definitely interesting times. So, David, as a guy who's been a longtime CTO of many organizations, large and small, why do you think 95% of generative AI pilots are failing within organizations? What do you think they're doing wrong?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you really need to make sure that you understand uh, the amount of investment and the amount of focus that it's going to take. And shoot, I think you really need to make sure that you choose something that is going to be effective and win and keep that focus. And I think that that they accomplish too much. I think you need to land and expand. That would be my recommendation. Make that focused success point and then grow out from there. That would be my recommendation.
All right. So Avaya is certainly a large, respected company. As CTO, if you get a board member or non-technical executive who says, "Hey, my buddy over at Tesla saw them just get 500% productivity with AI. Why aren't we doing that?" How do you respond to those non-technical business leaders, investors, board members to give them a dose of reality?
Well, so I'm making sure that we can measure the success that we're getting. So we are tracking the utilization of these new tools that we're using internally and tracking them very closely so that we have really hard numbers. And I I actually think that, listen, I have a very supportive board. So and a very really solid technical board too. A couple board members there are fantastic supporters. So I don't really have that problem, but I want to make sure that we're measuring it and that we have the real hard numbers to show for it. So when we set out to get these new set of tools, that measurability was part of the initial charter so that we knew that we were getting value for our money too, because these LLMs, that's the other thing about some of those failures you're talking about. LLMs are expensive to run, man.
Yes, they are.
They suck up a lot of electricity, they suck up a lot of compute. Now, that's something that's interesting that we're seeing in the contact center world too. Many companies are reporting that their agentic AI solutions are about as costly as what they can get from people. You need to be really judicious about how you focus that investment. Now, I believe that they're going to get more and more efficient in the future. So we can't not do it because it's expensive, but you really need to make sure that you're getting value for the dollar you're putting in. So we made the choice of partnering with a great data and AI partner in Databricks. We just
Okay.
recently announced that partnership. We have a set of people who are really excellent AI engineers, but it's a relatively small set. We are primarily a communications company. We're a contact center and voice, critical communication infrastructure company. And so we knew that we needed a partner to help to give our enterprise customers comfort that data governance was really being handled by the best. And that's why we partnered with Databricks. It's a great opportunity for both companies. It's really a 1+1=3 kind of situation because they understand that the contact center is a great place to showcase these fantastic use cases for AI, and they don't have a strong partner in that area, and we needed their abilities and governance. So it's great to go to market together.
Well, and that's where I see most companies screwing up because, getting that all your data in the right structure, but then having the discipline to have the governance to make sure it stays in that structure. So I like the approach you guys took of finding a great partner that's what they do to focus on that. That's where I see most fail.
It's another great opportunity for us with the Infinity product is that we have a good chunk of these large enterprise customers that are still running contact centers on premise. If you think about all of the data that's coming out of a contact center, it's where companies, customers, where governments, people come into and communicate with these large enterprises, and all the transcription of that audio, every email, every chat, all of that data, and the way that traverses through the customer journey, all of that data is tremendously rich data load for data mining and artificial
Lots of
intelligence.
good learning from all that data. If you could mine it and structure it.
Yeah, the ability to unlock that from it running on premise and make it available to this new capability is just a really tremendous opportunity for our customer base. So we're very excited about that too.
I wrote a book about my failures and how I learned from them. What are some of the brutal lessons you've learned in your career that if you could, you'd go back and tell your earlier self?
What I would tell my earlier self is, don't, when something's going south, let it go. Sunk cost fallacy. That's something that I think about very frequently, right? I mean, just because you worked really hard on something and it took a lot of cost and investment doesn't mean that you should keep driving that strategy if it's not working. You need to let it fail. Let it fail. Take your lumps. Say you're sorry to your customers when you have to move them somewhere else and move on. Because the longer you ride something that isn't working, the worse off everyone is going to be.
I
So
agree.
that's the number one. And then the other thing I think about too is one of the things that we're really focused on doing right now is removing complexity. There's a lot of Avaya. It has been a very big company, and we're somewhat smaller than we were. So that's left a lot of complexity, and we need to kind of fight through some of that complexity, simplify things, focus, get everybody working on the same thing. We used to have 120 products, and now we are really focused on one unified strategy. We've got a strategy for our critical communications infrastructure that's emerging, and we've got one focused strategy for our contact center customers and adjacent. And so going from 118 products to really focused on 2 or 3 in the software part of the business has been tremendously
That's a big
beneficial.
shift.
And it's a painful change. It's a really challenging change. I spent a long time really trying to save things that I just needed to cut off and move on from.
Gotcha. Those are great lessons. David, thank you so much for getting uncensored with us today. Appreciate you sharing your journey. You no doubt have established yourself as a leader in the software contact center space. Excited to see what you continue to build and how you change that industry, which is ripe. Everybody out there would love to see positive momentum. Before we wrap, what's your no BS advice for tech leaders out there trying to build, scale, or even just survive in these interesting times?
My best advice is find great people, treat them well, and have fun while you're doing it. I think that's really critically important.
And I like how you added that last part to it, because I couldn't agree. Life's too short. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, find something else to do.
And those people that makes people want to come work with you, I mean, that's what we need to do. It's get better together by having a good time. So I think it's really.
I love it. David, thank you so much. That's it for this episode of Software Leaders Uncensored. I'm Steve Taplin. If you enjoyed the show, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, well, we'll just send it to your competitors. Probably the edge they've been looking for. Remember to fail hard, win big, and always build what matters. See you next time. That's a wrap. Another great episode of Software Leaders Uncensored. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun doing this show. I love talking with great tech leaders. As a side note, if you're interested, check out my new book, Fail Hard, Win Big. This is the story of how I built 30 companies, failed on 20, and turned 10 into multi-million-dollar wins. The common thread with all of them was custom software. Also, if you need software development help out there, my company, Sonatify Technology, we deliver world-class software development engineers out of Latin America. We have a solid track record of helping companies launch better products and faster. Thanks again for listening. Appreciate it and appreciate you.